Many seniors trust Costco because it's convenient, affordable, and usually reliable. And for most households, the meat section feels like the easiest place to stock up on protein, especially when everything looks clean, bright, and nicely packaged. But after age 60, your body processes meat very differently than it used to. Digestion slows, immune strength decreases, and the quality of the meat you choose begins to matter much more than the quantity. That's why labels like lean, organic, premium, natural, or fresh can be confusing. They sound healthy, but they don't always tell you what really matters for seniors: processing methods, fat balance, freshness, and how the meat was handled before it reached your kitchen. In this video, we'll break things down calmly and simply so you can choose meat confidently without fear or overwhelm. And halfway through, I'll reveal the number one mistake most seniors make in the meat aisle, a mistake that leads many people to pick the wrong product even when they think they're choosing the healthiest option. Stay with me. By the end, you'll shop with clarity and confidence. How seniors' nutrition needs change after 60. As we get older, our nutritional needs naturally shift. After age 60, your body doesn't process food the same way it did in your 30s or 40s. That's completely normal, but it also means the choices you make in the meat aisle have a bigger impact on your daily comfort, digestion, and long term health. One of the biggest changes is protein needs. Seniors need more high quality protein to maintain muscle strength, prevent weakness, support memory, and reduce the risk of falls. Even small amounts of good protein each day help protect independence and energy levels. However, digestion becomes more sensitive too. Stomach acid gradually decreases with age, and digestive enzymes may not work as efficiently. This means heavy, dense, or very lean cuts of meat can feel harder to digest, leaving some people feeling bloated, tired, or uncomfortable after meals. It doesn't mean you must avoid meat. It simply means choosing the right type and cooking it in a way that suits your body now. Cooking method also matters more after 60. High heat cooking, like searing, grilling, or pan frying, can dry out lean meats, create tough textures, and make digestion harder. Lower heat methods, slow cooking, braising, baking, or stewing, help keep meat moist and easier for your stomach to handle. These methods also reduce the risk of burning, which can create compounds that older digestive systems may find difficult. Another important shift is the need for balance between lean and fatty cuts. Seniors often hear they must choose the leanest meat possible, but extremely lean meat, such as very low fat ground beef or top round steak, can actually be harder to digest because it lacks natural moisture and tenderness. A little healthy fat helps your body absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K, supports hormones, and keeps meals satisfying. So, the goal after 60 is not lean at all costs, nor avoid fat entirely. The goal is balance, choosing meats that are tender, moist, digestible, and provide steady strength without causing strain. With just small adjustments, the meat you choose can truly support better mobility, better digestion, and better daily energy. Now that we understand how the body changes, let's look at which meats might work better and which ones simply need a little more caution. 5 meats at Costco seniors should approach with caution. Costco offers excellent meat selections, but not every product is the best match for someone over 60. This isn't about fear or saying something is bad. It's simply about understanding which meats may require more care, different cooking methods, or alternatives that feel better for your digestion and overall well being. 1. Very lean ground beef, 93 to 7. While it sounds healthy, extremely lean ground beef can be dry, dense, and harder to digest for seniors. Without enough natural fat, the meat may feel tough and tiring to chew. Adding a small amount of olive oil or avocado oil when cooking can improve tenderness and help your body absorb important vitamins. Lean meat is not harmful. Just make sure it's prepared in a way your stomach can handle comfortably. Second, blade tenderized steaks. Some Costco steaks go through a blade tenderizing process to make them softer. This pushes the texture softening blades into the meat, but it also means it must be cooked thoroughly to a safe internal temperature. Seniors can enjoy these steaks safely as long as they are not eaten rare or medium rare. Proper cooking and resting ensure they remain both tender and safe. Third, processed meats, bacon, ham, sausages. These products are convenient and tasty but contain higher sodium and preservatives. Seniors with high blood pressure, kidney issues, or heart concerns should limit these items. Processed meats are fine occasionally, just not every day. Choosing low sodium versions or reducing portion size can make a big difference. Fourth, organic chicken stored for long periods. Organic chicken can be a good choice, but organic does not always mean fresh. Long transport times and extended storage may affect texture and quality. Seniors should check color, smell, and packaging before cooking. Fresh chicken should look pink, not gray, and the package should not appear puffed or leaking. Fifth, very lean round steaks. Round steaks look healthy, but they come from a part of the animal that gets a lot of use, making the meat firm and potentially tough. When cooked quickly or at high heat, the meat becomes dry. Seniors digest these cuts better when cooked slowly, sliced thinly, or used in soups and stews. Tone remains calm, reassuring, and helpful. Guidance, not fear. Two meats that are great choices for seniors. When it comes to choosing meat after age 60, the goal is not to buy the most expensive item or the leanest cut. The goal is comfort, digestion, and consistent nourishment. That's why two categories of meat often work extremely well for older adults. Not because they are superfoods, but because they are gentle on the stomach, naturally flavorful, and help you eat smaller portions without feeling deprived. The first helpful category is well-marbled cuts in moderation, such as chuck, shoulder, or other cuts that naturally have soft, interwoven fat. Many seniors are surprised when they learn that a little natural fat actually makes meat easier to chew and digest. The marbling keeps the meat moist during cooking, so you do not end up with a tough, dry meal that is difficult to break down. And because these cuts have more flavor, you usually eat a smaller portion and still feel satisfied, which is exactly what your digestion needs at this age. Slow cooking, stewing, or braising makes these cuts even softer, minimizing discomfort or bloating. The second helpful category is pasture-raised lamb or beef when available. These meats tend to have a cleaner, more balanced nutrient profile with natural minerals like zinc, iron, and B vitamins that support energy, immunity, and muscle strength. Lamb especially becomes tender with low-heat cooking. A simple oven bake or slow-cooked stew can create a soft, digestible meal that feels gentle on the system, something many seniors appreciate when their stomach becomes sensitive. Another benefit of these two meat types is portion control. You don't need a large serving. A small 3 to 4 ounce portion gives enough protein to support muscles, strength, and daily activity without overwhelming digestion. And because these meats retain moisture, they help prevent the dry, heavy feeling that very lean cuts sometimes cause. These options also give seniors flexibility. They can be used for stews, soups, casseroles, or simple roasted meals. All easy to prepare, easy to chew, and easy for the body to handle. With the right cut and the right cooking method, meat becomes not a burden but a comfort, something that nourishes you slowly and steadily. And as we move forward, I'll show you why choosing the right cut is only half the story. The biggest mistake happens before cooking ever begins. The number one mistake seniors make in the meat aisle? When seniors shop for meat at Costco or any store, the biggest mistake is surprisingly simple: choosing meat based on appearance alone. Bright red color, neat packaging, and a familiar shape do not always tell you the whole story. And after 60, when digestion slows and the body becomes more sensitive, depending only on visual cues can lead to choices that feel heavy, dry, or hard to digest. The first misunderstanding is believing that bright red meat means fresh. In reality, meat can look bright red because of oxygen exposure or packaging methods like modified atmosphere packing. The color doesn't reveal how long it has been stored, how it was processed, or whether it contains added solutions. That brings us to the second issue: labels that go unnoticed. Many seniors skip these tiny lines because the text is small and the packaging looks trustworthy. But for safe shopping, those labels matter more than the color of the meat. 3 words you should always check for are blade tenderized. This means small needles were used to soften the meat. It's perfectly legal, but it requires thorough cooking because bacteria can be pushed inside. Seniors should be especially careful. Solution added. This means water, salt, or flavoring has been injected to keep the meat moist. Not harmful, but it raises sodium and can affect blood pressure. Mechanically separated, often used in processed meats. The texture is softer, but the product is more processed and usually higher in sodium. These terms are not dangerous, but they change how you should handle and cook the product. That's why a 10-second label check is one of the most powerful habits for seniors. Here's the simple routine: pick up the package, flip it over, look for these three phrases, look at the ingredient list, check the sell by date. This tiny step tells you far more than color ever will. Remember, the goal is not fear, just understanding. The front of the package is marketing, the back of the package is information. Once you build this habit, you'll shop faster, smarter, and with much more confidence. The safest ways for seniors to cook meat. Cooking meat safely becomes more important after age 60 because digestion slows, stomach acid drops, and the immune system isn't as strong as before. The good news is that simple adjustments in how you cook can make meat much easier on your stomach, your joints, and your overall health. One of the best methods is slow cooking. When you stew, braise, or use a slow cooker, the meat stays moist and tender. This allows your digestive system to work comfortably without feeling heavy or bloated. Whether it's beef, lamb, or chicken, slow cooking breaks down fibers in a gentle way, making the meal satisfying without being tiring. Steaming is another great option, especially for chicken. It preserves nutrients while keeping the texture soft and easy to chew. Another important habit is avoiding burnt or charred edges. High heat, especially grilling or pan frying, can create compounds that are harsh on the body. Seniors often report feeling discomfort or fatigue after eating overly browned meats. Instead, cook on medium heat and give the meat time to cook through without scorching the outside. If anything becomes dark or burnt, simply trim it off before eating. Adding herbs can also support digestion and flavor. Garlic, ginger, turmeric, rosemary, thyme, mint, and fennel naturally support the stomach and reduce irritation. They make meals more comforting and support the body's ability to process protein efficiently. Food safety also matters. Seniors should always cook meat to the proper internal temperature. Chicken, 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Ground meat, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Beef, lamb, pork, whole cuts, 145 degrees Fahrenheit, plus 3 minutes rest. Resting the meat helps juices settle and ensures safe cooking all the way through. Finally, handling leftovers properly is essential. Divide cooked meat into small containers and refrigerate within 2 hours. Eat refrigerated leftovers within 3 to 4 days, or freeze them for later. Reheat until steaming hot, not just warm. These small adjustments protect digestion, reduce inflammation, and support comfort while eating, making each meal enjoyable instead of challenging. How much meat should seniors eat weekly? After age 60, the goal is not to eat more meat or less meat. The goal is to eat the right amount in a balanced, steady way. The body no longer stores protein as efficiently, and too much protein at once can overwhelm digestion. That's why consistent, smaller portions work far better than large servings. Most seniors do well with 10 to 14 ounces of cooked meat per week, spread across several meals. A typical serving is about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the size of your palm. This amount provides steady support for muscle strength, energy, and immune function without putting unnecessary strain on the stomach, liver, or kidneys. However, meat shouldn't be the only protein source. Seniors often feel better when they mix different protein types through the week. Great alternatives include fish, salmon, sardines, cod, gentle and heart-friendly; eggs, soft, easy to digest, high in protein; Greek yogurt, rich in protein, and supports gut health; beans, lentils, chickpeas, inexpensive and fiber-rich; tofu or tempeh, great option for lighter meals. Using a balanced plate makes this easy. 1 part protein, meat, fish, eggs, or plant protein; 1 part colorful vegetables; 1 part healthy carbs, such as potatoes, rice, or whole grains. This helps digestion and provides a steady release of energy throughout the day. Another point seniors often forget: hydration and fiber. Meat contains no fiber, so pair it with vegetables or a small salad to help the body process the meal. Drinking water or herbal tea afterward supports smoother digestion and prevents discomfort. Red meat, beef and lamb, is perfectly acceptable in small portions, but try to keep it at 2 meals per week and fill the rest of your protein needs with fish, eggs, chicken, or plant-based options. This helps maintain heart health while still giving your body the nutrients it needs. You don't have to remove meat from your diet. You just need the right amount, cooked gently and balanced with other nutrients. This approach supports your strength, digestion, and long-term well-being. 6 common Costco meat questions, answered simply. Many seniors have the same questions about buying, storing, and eating meat from places like Costco. Let's walk through them in a calm and simple way so you feel confident every time you shop. First, are vacuum-packed meats fresher? Vacuum packing helps meat last longer because removing air slows down spoilage. It keeps the color and texture stable. But it does not magically make old meat fresh. You should still check the sell-by date, look for no puffing, and make sure the color looks natural. Always open the package and smell before cooking. 2. How long can you freeze meat safely? Most meat stays highest quality for 3 to 4 months in a home freezer. It may last longer, but texture and taste may decline. For seniors, drier or tougher meat can be harder to chew or digest. Divide large packs into small portions before freezing, label the date, and try to use them within a reasonable time. Third, is organic much more nutritious than regular? Nutritionally, organic and regular chicken or beef are usually similar. The real difference is in farming practices, fewer antibiotics, tighter regulations, and often slightly better fat quality. 4. Is red meat okay if I have cholesterol issues? Yes, in moderation. Seniors don't need to avoid red meat completely. Choose lean cuts, watch portion size, and avoid heavily processed meats like bacon or sausages. Pair meat with vegetables so digestion stays comfortable and blood fats stay balanced. 5. Why does beef cause bloating sometimes? Beef is dense protein. After 60, digestion slows because stomach acid and enzymes drop naturally. Lean cuts can feel especially heavy. Choosing softer cuts, slower cooking methods, and eating smaller portions can make a big difference. Ginger, lemon, or light vegetables help many seniors digest beef more comfortably. 6. What is the best protein schedule for seniors? Instead of eating a lot of protein at one meal, aim for smaller portions throughout the day. For example, eggs in the morning, chicken or fish at lunch, and a small amount of meat or beans at dinner. Steady protein helps muscle strength, memory, and energy without overwhelming your digestion. If you're over 60, remember this: you are not behind and you don't need to make perfect choices overnight. Every small step you take, reading a label, choosing a softer cut, or cooking more gently, helps your body stay stronger, calmer, and more energized. Shopping for meat can feel confusing today. There are labels, colors, words, and marketing everywhere, but with a little practice, it becomes simple. You don't need to memorize complicated rules. Just remember, choose what your body digests comfortably, cook slowly, store safely, and avoid anything that feels questionable. Your comfort matters more than trends or advertisements. Butter, tea, collagen, meat, every food category has its myths and noise. My job is to remove that confusion and give you information that feels peaceful and empowering, not scary. You deserve clarity. You deserve confidence. And you deserve to enjoy your meals without worry. I want you to feel supported, respected, and guided, never overwhelmed. That's why these videos exist, to help you make calm, informed decisions in a world full of too much information and too little truth. Before we end, I'd love to hear from you. What should I review next at Costco? Chicken, fish, frozen meals, canned goods? Your questions shape these videos, and your curiosity helps others in the same situation. If today's guidance helped you feel even a little more confident at the meat aisle, consider sharing it with a friend or family member who might benefit too. And if you'd like more simple, senior-friendly health guidance, you're always welcome here. Take things one step at a time. Your health journey is ongoing, and I'm honored to walk it with you.